Previously on Jack and Bobby.
That's Missy Belknap. Jack used to go out with her.
I wish I hadn't messed things up between us because I thought they were pretty cool. I want to try again.
Courtney.
It's okay. Let her go.
Just bring me your chapter tomorrow.
I can explain.
You can explain how you plagiarized whole passages word for word. I am firing you as departmental TA. You can also find yourself a new advisor because this conversation will be our last.
Man, you haven't been to one practice since you got kicked off.
You know what it's like watching our guys lose races I could have won?
You join us today?
If I'm still invited?
Sure.
Hey, where you been, Marcus? We got slammed.
Sorry, Dad, got stuck at church.
It's at the same church and I got here. I'm not even a track. Not even a track. Excuse me.
And then, of course, the way Bergman establishes the visual motif of church. You know, it's dark, sinister, somehow connected to death. Thank you, Marcus.
No problem, Professor.
It's not a literal suggestion that the church is out murdering people. It's more symbolic. What'd you think of the film, Bobby?
It was long, and the church part seemed really depressing.
Very astute. The Film Society should hire you as a film critic.
If religion's so creepy, why does everybody have it?
I hardly think everybody has it. Some people have it. Some people search for it. Others search for other things but pretend to find it in religion, you know, like meaning and family and moral guidance.
Warren has to go to temple, and he's to learn this really, really long thing in Hebrew for his Bar Mitzvah.
Wait, what are you doing hanging out with Warren? I thought you recognized the limitations of that friendship.
I did, but my options are more limited.
Okay, don't be surprised when you find him. Missy? Oh, my God. What is he doing with that intellectual vacuum?
I think that they're just friends now.
Impossible. Missy isn't capable of friendship. And a boy of Jack's age isn't capable of friendship with a girl who looks like Missy.
I think that they have a school project.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't a real kiss. It was more symbolic than a real kiss.
Right. You've got to be kidding me, Jack. Missy?
No, I'm not kidding. We're going out.
We're going out as if nothing had come before. And you, the son of a historian.
My life is not history.
Have you forgotten the soul-numbing angst, the all-around horror that constituted your original dalliance with this girl?
Dalliance?
Not to mention her inherent qualities. We haven't even delved into that puddle yet. Don't you want someone of similar integrity, of similar intellect?
You hate Missy, you hated Courtney. Is there some other candidate you'd rather I go out with? How about Sasha Dublin? She takes courses at the college.
Well, that's a start.
And she looks like Uncle Vernon.
At least she looks like a real person. Missy, on the other hand, looks like the life-size version of a toy one might find in a Happy Meal.
You don't know Missy. She's cool, she's smart. Her father's a minister, for God's sake. How much more moral integrity do you want?
A lot more. The man's a snake oil salesman.
He's a community leader.
Oh, please.
This morning, he registered 7 people to go to the Sudan, and
Wait. This morning? You saw Reverend Belknap this morning?
Yep. At church.
Church? You went to church?
It was a great sermon.
Some days, I'd swear you're not my son.
Oh, good.
Throughout the course of our country's history, the people who served as commander-in-chief have worn a variety of hats before beginning their political careers. Counted among them were former military commanders, a number of lawyers, a retired journalist, 2 former Hollywood actors, and a peanut farmer. But strangely, there have only been 2 presidents who began their careers in the service of God. A former minister by the name of James Garfield in 1881, and of course, the Reverend Bobby McCallister.
December 7, 1941.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
We are caught in war wanting peace.
An ever-expanding American dream.
We must go forward as one nation.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Professor, if I could, I just wanted to take this opportunity.
Oh, here are copies of the documents I gave them at the first lecture.
Oh. I just wanted to thank you for this tremendous opportunity that I've been given in this job.
You already used that word.
What?
Opportunity. You used it twice. Do you want to choose something else?
Break. Thank you for this break.
That's what you came up with? Break.
Opportunity has few synonyms.
Well, don't thank me, Tom. The cronies on the hiring committee were all over you about this vacancy.
I just wanted to say that you won't regret this, and I don't expect any special treatment.
Oh. I suppose it's no secret that I was kinder than I should have been to my last TA, right? Well, I was just mistaken in my judgment. It won't happen again, trust me.
Well, actually, I meant nothing.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, I was thrilled you were able to step in at this late date, but I noticed your resume was a little light in the area of women's studies, so for the Tuesday seminar, you should take a look at the Feminist Reader.
Belzy Moore, I read it, yeah. In fact, I think you'll find I'm more well-versed than the average.
Okay, so what are the chief qualitative differences between the first and second wave of feminism?
Are you quizzing me?
Yeah.
Okay. The first wave was focused on suffrage, which of course the second was not, because the right had already been secured. The second wave evolved from the civil rights movement, and the first wave arguably is tied to the abolitionist movement, and the second wave was primarily a cultural phenomenon.
No more talking, okay, Tom? For the rest of the year, I'm more than happy to give you enough rope, but for now, watch and learn.
Okay.
Anyone up for a last-ditch Kim cram tonight? I've got the caffeine pills and the jerky.
Sounds tempting and all, but I gotta babysit.
I guess it's just me and you then.
I can't. Dad needs me to help out at the restaurant.
Again? He's not even paying you. Just tell him you got a midterm. He'll let you out.
Sorry, man. Can't do it.
Hey, you got the Abington meet this weekend, huh?
Yeah.
You psyched? Remember what dicks they were last season when they won? You'll totally destroy them this year.
Sure, man. You know what? I'll see you later.
He seems kind of out of it.
It's just nerves. It's a big meet.
Sure, in like 5 days.
Seriously, it's the biggest meet of the season. If we don't win, we don't make it to regionals, and last season they beat us by 0.8 of a second. It's payback time.
Yeah, I can see the cause for concern.
Hey, guys. Want to walk me across?
Yeah, I don't want to get lost.
She totally hates me.
You know, I never met a rabbi before.
Rabbi Rosinski isn't so bad. He kind of talks funny.
Look, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do.
That's why we're here, you know? He'll explain it to you.
You told him I was coming, right?
Sure.
And that I was gonna help you.
Yeah, he's the one who told me to find someone.
And you told him that I wasn't Jewish. You told him, right, Warren? Right, Warren?
So, Bobby, what temple do you attend? Warren?
Okay, so he's not Jewish, but he's willing to do it.
What is your religious background, Bobby?
None. We're secular humanists.
Warren?
Please, Rabbi. I don't have anyone else to learn the Torah portion with me, and I can't learn it by myself.
This is not the traditional way.
But Rabbi Rosinski.
Your Bar Mitzvah was originally scheduled for?
April.
And then?
August.
And now it's almost October. Your parents have reserved the temple, they've booked a room. You still cannot read Hebrew, and you still haven't learned your Torah portion, even though we've cut it down from 40 lines to 20. All right. I will allow it, Warren. Primarily because otherwise I fear you will not be bar mitzvahed in my lifetime, and that would be a sad thing indeed. I'll see you both back here tomorrow. You can go.
Thank you, Rabbi Rosinski. Thanks.
Thank you, Rabbi, sir. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, Bobby?
What do I have to do?
Just come back here again tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not sure when exactly Bobby found religion. I do, however, know this much. Whatever it was that sparked Bobby's religious journey, it most certainly did not come from his mother.
What if there was no God? What would the world look like today if religion and religious observance as we know it had simply never come into existence? Recall the devastation of the Crusades, the Inquisition, the Holocaust, colonialism, imperialism, global terrorism, all with religious thoughts and feelings at their base. Think of all the ways religion is still used to justify the subjugation and even torture of women. Fundamentalism, honor killings, burqas, female genital mutilation. The list is as long as it is gruesome. Look around you at all the suffering, the wars, the death, the self-loathing, the guilt. All the ills religion has wrought. And you tell me, would we be better off if it simply had never existed? Okay, we're gonna talk more about this next time. Thank you.
Professor McCallister?
Yes?
I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed your lecture today. It gave me a lot to think about, and I really appreciate your point of view.
Well, thank you, Hebba.
I did feel that the lecture was somewhat one-sided, though.
Really? In what way?
You're not religious, are you, Professor?
I don't see in what way that's relevant.
Except that it obviously informs the way you teach about religion.
Are you suggesting you think I have some kind of bias in my work?
No, of course not, Professor. In your teaching, perhaps. I was just thinking that maybe you could talk to the class about what your background and beliefs are in this area.
You know what, Hebba? You're making a very important point. I'll address it in Wednesday's lecture.
Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome.
Impressive.
What? Her cult-like religious conditioning?
Oh, your willingness to humor her point of view.
I swear, you could sub in anything for the word God, and all of these people would be in the funny farm.
In general, I was pleased by your performance on the midterm. Excellent work, Courtney.
Thanks.
Remember, this exam is 40% of your grade, and there will be few chances for extra credit between now and the final.
Don't tell me you're happy with that.
Hey, it's got a plus next to it. Is that a minus I see next to yours? Watch Marcus set the curve again.
I'll need you to have this signed by your parents. See me after class.
Oh, what happened, man?
I blew the test. No big deal, and it happens.
Not to you.
Looks like it does.
I don't think the guy has ever gotten below a B in his life.
But he said everything was fine.
You might want to work on your perceptiveness, Jack. I don't think it's your best trait.
Yeah, thanks for the tip.
And then I want to go over your work, but first I'd like to talk about a concern a student has brought to my attention. Hebba, I'm just going to summarize the discussion we had the other day. Is that okay? Great. Hebba suggested that my individual beliefs about religion might be bleeding into my teaching. Would you say that's a fair assessment, Hebba?
I think so.
So, before we can address the topic of religion, I think we need to talk about the obligation of the scholar. What is my imperative here? Do I need to brief you about my beliefs prior to every lecture so that you know where I'm coming from? Yes.
No.
Why not, Bryce?
Well, because there's a presumption of objectivity.
Because I'm your teacher.
Yes.
Ah, it's so interesting, this concept of presumption.
I only meant that religion is personal.
Nothing is personal to the academic. Have I been unable to lecture, say, on fascism? I don't believe in it, in case anybody wondered. Or what about anti-Semitism? I also have very strong beliefs against this, but I have tried to impress upon you the ways in which it took root.
These are things we can all agree are morally corrupt. Religion is different.
Yeah, that's what the fascists said. Hebba, beware of your own bias. College is an invitation for you to open your eyes and your mind and to question what you know to be true. Except that you are here to learn, not to cling to long-standing beliefs which are based in sentiment and not in knowledge. The sooner you do this, the sooner your scholarship will be worthwhile. Okay, this is not a polemic, people. This is a dialectic. To participate, you gotta stay in the room.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sur kol ha... No, it's like this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sur kol ha'alomim. You're better at this and not even Jewish. So what does this stuff mean anyway? The words? I don't know, something about God. But once you're bar mitzvah, that means that you're like a man, right? Yep, totally man. And my dad gets to stand up in front of everyone, and thank God he's not responsible anymore for my sins. It's like a really big deal for the dads. Cool. You want some candy? We can get some from the machine. You know what? I think I'll do that. You better stay in practice.
Good afternoon, Rabbi.
The Bar Mitzvah is coming up. This is a very important time in your life. You've been preparing for your Bar Mitzvah as your father has studied and prepared for his at this time. This is a landmark in your life. You'll be upholding the ideals and principles you learn here for the rest of your life. Then you'll see this Torah. This Torah has held our people together for over 1,000 years.
Where's the candy? I couldn't find the machine. I thought I told you to keep on practicing. I can't. My head's going to explode. What's that thing you put around him? The dollars. It's a ritual. What does it mean? I don't know. Who cares? Let's go. Did your dad put the dollars thing around you? No. But once he pinned on my yarmulke. Let's go. Come on.
Hey, guess what?
What?
You're coming over for dinner tomorrow night. Mom's making a loaf. Don't ask.
I think I'm busy.
You so are not.
No, really, I think I have to babysit.
Okay, you suck at lying. Plus, you do this every time. He knows you hate him, you know.
I don't hate him. I just think he's a little intense.
What? That's crazy. He's totally easygoing. You're just prejudiced against him because he's a minister.
No, it's just that every time he looks at me, I know he's thinking, you're the heathen that's gonna violate my daughter.
It'll be quick. I promise. He's teaching the Bible to prisoners later, and Mom usually goes with them. So we can be alone.
All right.
Goody.
McCallister, you got a minute?
Sure, Coach.
I'll see you at 6. Try not to look scared.
Coach, what's up?
How'd you like to get your spot back?
What?
Yeah, we need you on the team. Got a big meet this weekend, and I hope you've been keeping up on your training.
I don't get it.
Marcus is failing chemistry, so they're putting him on academic probation.
He can't even run the meet?
His parents won't let him. And without him, we don't have enough runners to qualify.
Because of one test? It just doesn't seem fair.
I'm not his father, Jack. So what do you say?
The other day you told me I didn't have to make special allowances for you. Why exactly?
Because I'm white. And I'm male.
Yeah, but given my agenda, wouldn't I instead be harder on you?
Well, speaking of being hard on people.
What, Hebba? Oh, come on. She initiated that discussion.
She initiated a discussion. I don't think she got the one she bargained for.
Well, she got the one she needed. I was actually trying to help her.
Help her?
Yeah. Female fundamentalists are often the ironic victims of their own fanatical beliefs. Come on. A woman in 2004 covering herself in this country? My God, she's not even impressed by her own people anymore. Come in.
Professor McCallister? Hi, I'm Todd. Todd Schatz, president of the Campus Christ Coalition.
Okay.
As you probably know, the university cyber chat rooms are a buzz.
No, can't say that I did.
Oh, about today's incident? With regard to the religious student, Hebba Narjawi? Obviously, we're concerned about your handling of the situation, and we've asked for your apology.
My apology?
To the individual student, to your class, and more broadly.
To my class?
And more broadly, to all religious students currently enrolled in the university for your inflammatory rhetoric and prejudice against us.
What?
Of course, the choice is yours.
Reassuring to know.
You should be aware that if you choose not to apologize, several campus groups are prepared to stage a protest, a walkout, at the beginning of each one of your classes until such time as the situation is satisfactorily remedied. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day, Professor.
You too. Wow. He's not even in my class. How can he walk out?
What are you gonna do? You gonna wait for the onslaught?
Yeah, bring it on. They may be self-righteous, but I'm right. Morning, everyone. Look, I know there's been some talk of... Okay, then. I would like to start today's lecture with a brief summary of the historical events which took place during the years we're talking about, 1930 to 1945. In 1930, you had the Nazis winning 107 seats in Parliament. Chiang Kai-shek attacking the communists. Gandhi leading the revolt in India.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. I'm not sure.
Sur kol halmim sadiq bichol hadarot.
Right. Yeah.
You're doing great, Warren. Bobby, excellent work.
Thanks. I'm trying.
Boys, I'm afraid that's it for today. I have an appointment to get to.
Come on, let's go. My mom's gonna be mad if we're late.
I think I'm gonna walk.
What? It's really far.
It's okay. I've been training with my brother.
What are you doing in here?
I missed my ride.
This isn't for you to be playing with.
I'm not. It's just, I saw this thing yesterday where the father put it around his son's shoulders.
Well, you shouldn't be eavesdropping on people.
It was more like spying.
Shouldn't be spying on people either.
I'm sorry. I was wondering, maybe you can tell me if my dad was Catholic, but I never met him, and my mom isn't anything. So what does that make me?
Do you wish to become Catholic?
I don't know. Warren said that his dad is no longer responsible for his sins once he's bar mitzvahed. And what does that mean? I mean, if I don't have a father, then who's responsible for me?
Have a seat, Bobby.
What about your appointment?
Between you and me, there was no appointment.
Okay.
Once he was in office, every religious organization in the country came knocking. He'd always take the meetings before sending them away with that sad, almost disgusted look on his face. He would say about those who would use God's name to achieve their own political ends, "We may have our faith in common, but I certainly hope that's all."
This is wonderful, Miss Belknap.
So glad you like it, dear.
Mom, could you pass the rolls, please?
Oh, sure, sweetie. You look so lovely in that sweater. Is that the one we bought at Crescent Hill?
Yeah.
So, Jack, I hear congratulations are in order. Missy tells me you're back in the track team.
I will be, yes, sir.
Must be thrilled.
Not even.
Sit up, Missy.
No? Why's that, son?
My friend lost his spot. That's the only reason I'm back on.
Well, it's commendable you care so deeply about your friend, but you need to look out for yourself a little too, don't you? I mean, you didn't cause him to lose his space.
No, but...
And it's a cruel truth. If you want someone to look out for you, you really need to do it yourself. With a little help, of course. You're a fine boy, Jack. I think you have great potential. and I'm going to do something right now. I'm going to make myself available to you for guidance.
Well, thank you, Reverend Belknap.
I'm sure you're saying to yourself, he's so square, why would I ask him anything? How could he possibly know what I'm going through?
No, sir, of course not.
And I'm sure Missy told you why I wanted you to come to dinner tonight.
Actually, no, she didn't mention.
Huh. Would you care to join me in my study? Perhaps it's time someone had a talk with you about the changes your body's going through.
Oh, wow, I don't think, I mean...
I was a teenager once. The hormones, the confusion, the urges, I understand completely. That's why I want you to... Take my hands, Jack.
What?
Put your hands into my hands. I know my daughter can be a bit precocious. Let's just say she likes to push the envelope from time to time, morally speaking. That's why I need to know... Jack, what do you think about Jesus?
I'd say I'm pro...
I think Jesus is awesome. He's the ultimate cool guy. When you think about the gift he gave humanity, and all he asks in return in this time of tumult is for you to live a life which sanctifies your mortal soul. And part of that means ignoring those natural urges which tell you to violate the sacred purity of your body. Do you understand, Jack?
I think so.
It's kind of a test. One you can't afford to get a C on. It's either pass or fail. You need an A on this one, Jack. Now, you don't think that's too much to ask, do you?
No, of course not.
And you would, if you could, do whatever it took to keep Missy safe, wouldn't you? To keep yourself safe.
Of course.
You would even promise, take an oath, say.
Yes?
You would pledge on your immortal soul that you wouldn't disrespect your body or my daughter's body.
No. I mean, yes, I would promise that I wouldn't disrespect...
Excellent. Now close your eyes and repeat after me. I reject the world of instant...
This has to be a joke, right? You're saying my son is interested in religious conversion? My son? I hardly think that's likely.
Mrs. McCallister, with all due respect, your son came to me in a considerable amount of pain. He's in the throes of a spiritual crisis if he doesn't get any help.
Excuse me. You have met my son exactly twice. What right do you have to judge my parenting?
If you could please calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down. I'm calm.
Mrs. McCallister.
Well, Bobby, I have to say, you've set a new record for the bizarre and the badly timed. I can't believe I was actually dragged down here by a rabbi and taken to task for a lack of spiritual guidance and all-around crappy parenting. Really takes the cake. Get in the car, Bobby.
No.
I am not in the mood for this tonight.
Why did you have to yell at the rabbi?
I didn't yell at the rabbi, and I just explained to you why I yelled at the rabbi.
Not everybody that is religious is crazy, you know. Why do you have to hate everything?
What are you talking about? I don't hate everything.
Why do you have to make fun of or insult anything that everybody believes in?
Since when am I the bad guy here? You made this weird episode my problem. This is not my fault.
If it weren't for you, I'd be going to church like normal people, and I'd be doing things
Are you out of your mind? Are you actually chastising me for giving you a mind of your own? For not subjecting you to all the crap and the guilt and the fear and the judgment that I had to live through my entire childhood?
You didn't give me anything. Everybody gets to have a religion except for me.
I am not having this conversation with you, this of all weeks. Nope.
He'd take me.
Who?
You know who.
Watch it, Bobby.
He would have taken me to church.
He wouldn't have taken you anywhere. You know very little about your father, and I guarantee that's all you want to know. Don't go down that road.
He was Catholic.
Not an asset.
I want to be Catholic like him.
Over my dead body. Get in the car.
Why can't I be Catholic? I was born Catholic.
No, you weren't. You weren't even baptized. And for your information, your father went to church all of 2 times the entire time I knew him, so forget it.
Still, he would have taken me. I mean, now I can't go to church because of you.
And when exactly would he have taken you, Bobby? Would that be before or after he went out for milk and never came back?
You act like you know everything, but you don't.
get in the car, please? We can talk about this later, okay?
Sometimes I hate you.
Hey. Hey. You got any pie left?
Why aren't you just at dinner?
2 words. Fig sorbet.
So, man, what's up?
Oh, the usual. Had dinner at Missy's, ate some loaf. Took a virginity oath.
What?
No joke. The Rev actually took me in his office, grabbed me by the hands, and told me to swear to Jesus that I wouldn't have sex with his daughter.
That's messed up, man.
No one else is messed up?
What?
Intentionally failing a huge test just because you know it'll get you kicked off the track team?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you, Marcus. You don't fail tests. Not one's that big. You just don't. You obviously wanted to get kicked off the team. The only thing I don't get is why.
Back on the team, which is what you wanted anyway. It doesn't matter why.
Yes, it does. You love track, and I'm not taking your spot.
Jack, just take the spot, okay?
Tell me why you did it.
Ever since my sister went away to college, we've had one less hand to help out around here and 30 grand a year in tuition. Right, I see my dad up past midnight doing the books after he's worked since 5 a.m. He never stops. He'd never say it, never ask for my help, but he needs it. As much as I love running track, I know I can make a difference here. I can give him that help he won't ask for. What else was I supposed to do, Jack? I can't be in 2 places at once.
Why didn't you say anything?
It's not exactly the type of thing I wanted to advertise.
Marcus, it's me.
I appreciate the thought. But there's nothing you can do now. Just take the spot on the team, okay? I want you to have it. It's yours. Just be happy. Let it go. All right? Gotta get back to work.
Here are the notes you wanted.
Hey.
On the persecution in 1975.
You know, I don't think I gave you enough credit, Tom.
How was that?
For your obvious feminist values. We actually have a lot in common. See, I have 2 children who took my name instead of their father's. Thomas Wexler Graham is actually your full name, right?
Look, about that,
Or maybe you decided just to take your mother's name because it's easier. After all, a hyphenate can be such a mouthful, can't it?
Professor McCallister, I can explain
But
all
perhaps you hid your true identity from me because it's your father's name that appears on a little plaque affixed to every other building on this campus. You know, the Graham Library, the Graham Auditorium, the Graham Aquatic Center. Well, certainly wouldn't want professors like me to hold that against you, right? You know, the fact that your hiring was pushed through by President Benedict himself because, my God, you're a one-man endowment, aren't you?
Professor, with all due respect, this is why I don't use my father's name. Because the way I see it, I'm damned either way. Because you would have fought tooth and nail against hiring me if you'd known before. And the simple fact is that I worked my ass off for years to get here. I deserve to be here. And if you want to let me go because I failed to mention it sooner, that's cool. I get it. It's a shame, but I understand. I'll just, I'll clean up my desk and I'll be out by 5.
Professor McCallister?
Hebba, come in.
Hi.
Tom? I need these papers graded ASAP. See you back here in the morning.
Can I talk to you for a minute, Professor McCallister?
Sure.
I just wanted to say that I never meant for any of this
What, carnival of religious posturing?
I'm not affiliated with any of these groups. They didn't ask my permission or anything. The Campus Christ Coalition people, the ones who initiated the walkout, they keep trying to convert me. I don't even know how they got involved. I just think it's not even really about me anymore.
I'm not sure it ever was.
The one thing is, I still think you were unfair to me that day. You judged me superficially. You look at me and you see an oppressed Muslim woman forced to cover her head by a misogynistic and backwards culture.
I never said that.
That's what you meant. You see me as a victim. I don't think you see my choice in all of this. You know, in my hall, there are 2 women who are anorexic. One who has breast implants, 2 others who are considering surgery either to their body or their face. All of them obsess over their weight or their clothes and their looks. This is what your culture does to women. It suggests ideals they'll never attain, and when they fail to attain them, tells them they're worthless. You talk about my conditioning, but what you don't understand is that I'm a feminist just like you. And this is a part of that. This is me saying no to all the ways your culture tries to exploit me. This is me saying yes to my religion and my God, not no to being liberated. I am liberated. Well, anyway, I'll see you in class.
Hebba. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Hey. What's going on? Your dad's just teaching me how to do to-go orders. What? Darndest thing happened. Your old man went and offered me a job. Best part is, he's getting me your discounted rate.
What?
Yeah, turns out you were incompetent. Sorry, dude.
Dang. Marcus, this is for the best.
Too bad you suck, buddy, but you know you can just run with the team for another semester, and then maybe, if you're good enough, he'll take you back. Of course, by then, I'll own the joint.
Yes. I believe Bobby McCallister will be remembered as the president who took a stand against religious interest. And his presidency will also be remembered as having the least amount of religiously motivated strife we've seen in the last 30 years. And for that matter, he will be remembered by me as the man who sat by my side and prayed for hours while my father was dying. Because in the end, that's all Bobby really was. Just like Jack, a man of faith.
Can't believe you pulled it off, man. You actually have a backbone.
I always had a backbone.
Nice.
What?
You're not mad that we're missing the film society, are you?
Are you kidding? Do you think I'd let Jules and Jim pass you by? I rented it. We're watching it later. So, we had a great Sunday ritual, but now we'll have a new one for a while. Hopefully, not too long.
So how do I look?
Disturbing. Well, dapper. You look dapper. Okay, so you know what I said before the other day about your dad. Well, people sometimes get angry, you know, and they say things that they don't mean. And, well, he didn't just, well, things were a lot more complicated than that, and he and I
understand.
Yeah. You're good at that. But you also understand why I decided to go on this little religious field trip, right?
Because I said that I was going to go to church whether you took me or not.
No. Well, yes and no. I really need you to understand that while I am not religious in the traditional sense, I am not without faith, Bobby.
What kind?
Well, I have faith in humanity.
That's not the same.
It is, actually. It's a really strong faith. It's faith in people and their potential, that we're all fallible, but also forgiven. that our own fragility can be the source of our greatest strength if we can learn that the differences that separate us are dwarfed by the similarities that connect us. And I have faith in you. And I actually believe that faith itself can move mountains. I know it's not a church-going kind of faith. But I'll tell you what, it's what gets me up every single morning, and it's what gets me through every single day. Do you get it?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It's good enough. All right, now, remember, this is just an exploratory mission. If you take an interest in religion, that means I'm going to make sure that you explore all of them. That'll be what, Sufism next week, and then Hinduism, and then what do you think about maybe Lutheran?
Oh, and the Catholic Church.
Well, we'll work our way around to that.
Bobby was fond of saying when religious groups would get up in arms about the way he governed, they didn't elect me Reverend of the United States. Of course, that didn't stop him from converting the old bowling alley in the White House basement into a chapel where every week we'd have non-denominational services. And Bobby would preach a sermon you had to hear to believe. Which is why, for all those who served in the McCallister administration, Sunday was everybody's favorite day at the White House.
I wanna say to you.